Hello, I'm Miami Township Trustee Karl Schultz, and welcome to this edition of Around Miami Township, where we feature topics about our community. Today I'm talking with Maria Sentelik, Executive Director of Ohio Valley Voices. It's a very unusual local school teaching deaf and hearing impaired children to speak. And later in the show, Officer Skip Brasfelt from the Miami Township Police Department will join us. But first, joining me here in the studio, Maria Sentelik. Maria, thank you for coming over.
Thank you for inviting me.
Ohio Valley Voices. It's a very, very unique school that you have here. Tell me about Ohio Valley Voices.
Ohio Valley Voices has been around. We've been teaching children in the tri-state area for about 12 years. And what we do here at Ohio Valley Voices is we teach children who are profoundly deaf or children with significant hearing impairment how to listen through their device, their hearing aid or a cochlear implant, how to listen through that device because it doesn't come easy, and then how to learn to talk through that device.
What's a cochlear implant?
Well, you might have seen Rush Limbaugh is one of the people that I can say that some famous people has a cochlear implant. What it is it's a surgically implanted device that goes into the inner ear, and then there's an external piece that is like a computer. And what that computer does is it picks up sound, it takes it into the internal piece that has been surgically implanted, and it plays a tune, so to speak. An electrical current goes in a pattern, kind of like those lights that flash off and on. What the cochlear implant does is it does that with electricity. It makes a pattern and sends electrical stimulation up the nerve of hearing into the brain, because it's not our ears that hear, it's really our brain. So what our children have to do is take this artificial device, the cochlear implant, and try to figure out that signal that they're getting, which is not even half of what you and I can get, what that brain should do with it. So that's what we do at Ohio Valley Voices. We teach their brain how to decode that very different sound into speech, and then we teach them how to make the sounds through what they hear to talk.
So that replaces the little hair follicles and all of that that's within the ear channel that we listen.
Exactly. It completely bypasses. That's the place in their ear that's broken. And so we don't need that place. It becomes the housing unit for the cochlear implant. It's put in there so it could then send a signal up the nerve, which is intact, to the brain. So that's exactly what happens.
So you're dealing with very, very young children, which is a different situation than Rush Limbaugh.
Right.
When they come to you, have they had any hearing sense at all?
No. What typically happens is in 2004, the federal government mandated Ohio to screen every birthing hospital that is in Ohio has to screen for hearing loss. So every child that's born in Ohio is screened for hearing loss. So we know almost immediately after birth whether a child is significantly hearing impaired. From there, we hope, it doesn't always happen, but we hope from there they find Ohio Valley Voices. And we begin teaching the families and the parents, the moms and the dads, how to work with their deaf child, how to help stimulate language. We put a hearing aid on them as young as 3 weeks old, and then through testing, we determine whether or not a cochlear implant is necessary because the hearing loss is significant enough. Through that, we then they have a surgery at 12 months old. They're babies. They're not even walking yet, and they get the implant, the cochlear implant surgery, which takes about 4 hours. And then from there, they enter into our program. They go, 5 half days a week. And we work with the parents. We do parent education, parent support group. We work with these children to teach them how to listen. So
getting them very early, is that critical?
It is. If I could say one thing to anybody ever, to a family, is please come as early as possible. Really, in reality, if there's nothing done with a child who's profoundly hearing impaired, by the time they're 5 years old, it's too late. And we think of our 5-year-olds as just beginning school. But in reality, if they haven't had early intervention, that's between 0 and 3 really is the best time.
All that sensory learning is done very, very early then.
Yes. The best time is immediately after 3 years of age. Is starting to get scary, and by 5 it's really scary. So yes, they need to come early. Our program only goes to the 2nd grade, so we only serve children up to about the age of 8. Our primary focus is really on early intervention, really getting those kids young, getting the parents educated, empowering them, because they're going to be there when the child's 21, not us.
You're doing this for not just for the hearing, but for the speech therapy that goes along with it.
I invite you to come out. I invite anyone to come out. You would not believe the quality of our children's speech. You would never know. We just had a gala. We celebrated our 20th 1920s theme gala. It was like the Roaring 20s. It was very exciting. But we had a 13-year-old child that had graduated from our program, that started our program at 2. When he was 2 years old. He left when he was 6 because he was ready to go, and he's now 13 years old. And he got up in front of 170 people and gave a speech. He got a standing ovation. No one would have ever known this child was hearing impaired if it wasn't for the magnet on his head saying that he had a cochlear implant.
So unlike a number of years ago, you're able to mainstream them very early in elementary education.
Yes. That's our goal. I want them to have any possibility they want. I want their future to be completely open. I want them to be, we at Ohio Valley Voices want them to be with every other child there. We want them playing on the playground. We want them playing in the streets with their, well, not in the streets, but in their neighborhoods. We want whatever any other child has, and we know that if we get them when they're very young, they're ready to go. Like this child, Ethan, was ready to go at 6 years of age. He went on to kindergarten, went on to first grade, and participates with everybody in his neighborhood. That's what we want. So
often in the past, a hearing impaired child, it was never realized until much later in life when it was very difficult for them to mainstream.
Right. Exactly. So, as early as 15 years ago, I mean, that's not a long time ago, as early as 15 years ago, most children with significant hearing impairment were in a school for the deaf in an institution where they stayed the night, they lived there, their primary mode of communication was sign language, and they didn't have the opportunity or the families didn't have the option to choose something else because they didn't have the technology available that we do today.
How many young people do you have in the program right now?
Right now we have 40.
40?
Our program is, we've had over 100 children that have graduated, and we serve children that have graduated. They don't come every single day. So we serve in-house 40 children. The children come varying from ages. I think our youngest right now is 4 months old, and they come with their parents up to the age of 7 right now. So or 8. We have an 8-year-old. So
you've been doing this 12 years now?
We've been
12th year?
Yeah, this is our 12th year.
What got you started with this, Maria?
That's a long story. I am an audiologist. I have a Master's of Science degree in audiology and all but dissertation in audiology and literacy development at University of Cincinnati. I got into this because as a master's degree student with audiology, I joined the Peace Corps. And I went to South America. And when I was in South America, I met a little girl. And she was, at the time, 2.5 and profoundly deaf. And for a very long story, I ended up adopting her and bringing her back to the United States. And I realized that what the real problem wasn't the hearing loss, although that was significant. It was the ability not to communicate with others. So I kind of developed a passion for finding ways to make them be able to have access to the world. And that's how it all got started. I started the program in 2000. How that happened was there were families in the Cincinnati area, cochlear implants just were approved, and children in Cincinnati area had cochlear implants, but they had no place to learn to talk. There was only one facility, and that was sign language, and they wanted their child to talk. They raised a lot of funds, joined an organization called the Oberkotter Foundation who helped fund them, and then they asked me to come on board to start the program up. So these 3 families were instrumental in getting it started. They raised the money, they had the heart behind it, and I had the passion, and we opened the school in 2000.
How many schools or programs like this are there in the United States?
We are very unique. There are not a lot of programs that serve hearing impaired children as young as we do, and we're unique that we follow a certain method called the Moog method. We're a certified Moog program. There's only one. We are one of 8 programs.
What does that mean?
It means that it's kind of like a Montessori program. You know, the Montessori program follows certain methods and procedures. We're a certified Moog program. We follow certain methods and procedures that was developed by Jean Moog, who won Epic Award for Education and has developed a certain program, certain methods and procedures that teach deaf children to talk. They are #1 in the country for doing that, and we are second. So we do a very good job of what we do.
Well, Miami Township's an interesting place to have a school like this. Why did you choose Miami Township?
We looked for many, many years. When we first were leasing space, we outgrew that site immediately, and we were on waiting list. It was horrible, a horrible time because we wanted to be able to serve everybody. We started looking and realized that we really were serving so many people in so many different areas around Cincinnati that the location really needed to be near a highway. And so we started looking at different places around that. Miami Township is perfect. You're right right there by 275, right off, but far enough away that there's no noise. It's a perfect location for us. Families can come from north, from south, from east, from west.
You're covering
and get
how
here.
much?
I know.
How much of an area
the
do you
tri-state
cover?
area. We're really kind of the tri-state area. We serve children in Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio. We serve people as far up as Columbus, Dayton, like I said, Kentucky. So they need access to a highway so they can get here.
So access.
Right. So that was very.
is
We thought about that a lot. We needed. That's what we needed. I needed a space that had that in at least 5 acres.
You know, we're very fortunate. We hear that from a lot of businesses in the area that we're very blessed to have the access we do in the area. If people want to get in touch with you, Maria, how can they go about doing that?
It's easy. You know, we have a website. Just type in Ohio Valley Voices, and you can go right to our website. You can contact me, Maria Sentelik, on the website. You can also call us. We give tours to the community at large. Anybody who wants to come see what we do. We are so proud of our kids. We're proud to show everybody what they can do. You can call 791-1458. Say that again. I always have to say it twice.
We'll put that on the screen.
791-1458, and we will give a tour if a family's interested in knowing what we do. I do also want to say that no child is ever turned away because of money. It's very expensive what we do, but we're a not-for-profit organization, and every child who has a hearing loss deserves the right to talk.
I know there's some people out there, we've interviewed some that have children with hearing impairment, and that's a difficult thing for a family. It really is. And if, you know, this is a way to at least get some advice as to what to do from this point forward. You mentioned earlier your Roaring 20s event. Does that bring in more than the families of the kids?
Yes. We try to do that because we always say that we're one of the best kept secret in the area because we're a great program that has great outcomes, but we're small, so a lot of people don't know we exist. So by having these Roaring 20 galas, this event every year, we hope to bring in people from the community to attend this event, have a great party, have a great event, but also get to take a look at what we can do and what we're doing for lives of children who are deaf. And so, yes, we actually would love the community at large to come.
So, do you have these listed on your website?
Yes.
When they're about, and your website is
OhioValleyVoices.org.
.org.
Okay. It's really easy to get to. We have events. We have all kinds of different events that could appeal to other people. We have, the Roaring 20s, the gala kind of dance. We have an OVV 500, which is like a race. It's a go-kart race. People love that. We also do, right now we're currently raising money for the Flying Pig Marathon. For the 4th year in a row, but actually the 10th year of running, I run the Flying Pig Marathon in honor of Ohio Valley Voices. Myself and right now 40 other people. Anybody else want to, that's great. And we each raise money in honor of a child, and that money goes to the benefit putting children through our program.
I did a few of those when I still had knees and hips.
I think this is my last one.
And my doctor, he told me I shouldn't be doing it, and I still did it for 10 years. But I admire your training for that. I know what that takes.
It takes a while.
That's a commitment there, too.
Well, thanks.
Well, Maria, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it very much. We love what you do.
Thank you.
We do.
Thank you.
And being here in Miami Township is just great. You're part of what
here.
makes this a great place to live and work.
Well, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.